Honor, defendants, people of the court, we're gathered here today because actions have consequences, and while these actions may have just been Twitter fingers, they're also still words, and they have hold the same weight as any other actions. The three defendants here have all made very blatant, fraudulent statements about the bakery. They made a direct targeted attack on the bakery's livelihood, on its income, and on the employees within. These tweets include accusations such as human trafficking, toenails clippings being used as sprinkle, and other fraudulent tweets that have been made within Twitter. Evidence already exists on the record that will show that these three defendants do own these Twitter accounts and that they have made these tweets themselves. We also have in our evidence that the bakery has taken a hit financially. We have provided the bakery's books to show that they are on a downward decline since these tweets have been made. The evidence will clearly show today, Your Honor, that by a preponderance of this evidence, that there is no doubt that these three individuals have slandered, libeled, however you want to put it, against the bakery. That they acted together in a way to benefit either themselves financially or just for a meaningful Twitter clout for the retweets that they got. What we hope to disprove today here, Your Honor, is that the serotonin that they got was worth the money that they cost the bakery.
Your Honor, members of the court, today we gather to address serious allegations against my clients. Plaintiff claims that their tweets constituted slander and resulted in significant financial damage to the bakery. However, the evidence will demonstrate otherwise. Firstly, the statements made by my clients were clearly hyperbolic and satirical in nature. They were not intended to be taken as factual assertions. The absurdity of these claims, such as the use of toenail clippings as sprinkles, highlights the humorous context in which they were made. Secondly, we will show that there is no concrete evidence linking these tweets to any specific financial losses incurred by the bakery. The plaintiff has failed to provide timestamps or dates for these tweets, making it impossible to establish a direct correlation between these statements and the alleged downturn in business. Furthermore, it is important to note that the bakery has only been open twice in the past 2 weeks, which raises questions about the actual cause of their financial struggles. We believe this information will reveal that the plaintiff's claims are not based on factual evidence, but rather on an attempt to deflect at their own operational issues. In conclusion, we will prove that the statements made by my clients do not meet the legal standards for slander and that the bakery's financial issues cannot be attributed to these tweets. We ask that the court consider the full context of these statements and the lack of evidence supporting the plaintiff's claims. Thank you.
Mr. Bustamante, do you have a Twitter account?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is the Twitter handle of your Twitter account?
Alex B with a KS.
Okay, and spelled out, would that be ALEKS capital B?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever made any tweets against the bakery?
I did.
Okay, what did these tweets say?
Did they use toenails for sprinkles? I don't recall the other ones.
Okay, what was the context behind the toenail clippings?
Satire?
Satire?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you engage in satire often?
All the time.
Do you do it against businesses?
Against everybody and anybody.
So you're serially satirical is what you're trying to say.
It's Twitter. I'm just trying to make jokes.
Action, Your Honor, that's a leading question.
Miss Cookie, do you own a Twitter account?
I do.
All right. What is the Twitter handle of your Twitter account?
That would be barbecue with a Q on the end.
Have you ever made any tweets towards the bakery?
I have.
Okay, what would these tweets have been?
I don't recall every single one, but one of them, I think, actually do not recall which one it was, the one that was put into evidence, unfortunately.
Have you ever asked if the bakery runs an illegal chicken fighting ring?
That was it, yes, that was the one I tweeted.
Okay. And where did you allege that this chicken fighting ring happened?
Inside of the building,
Did you allege that it happens in the back?
correct?
Okay. Have you ever attended a chicken fighting ring at the bakery?
I have not.
Have you ever heard of one happening?
I have not.
So, what led you to make this statement?
Just a joke?
Oh yeah.
Are crimes a joke to you?
No.
Well, then why would alleging something that you specifically described as illegal be considered a joke?
Just thought it was funny at the time of tweeting.
So is it still funny if it hurt the morale of the bakery?
I'm just gonna plead my fifth.
This is a civil case, Your Honor. The client cannot, or the witness cannot plead the fifth.
Yes, that is correct.
I was informed we were allowed to do that. Sorry.
It's okay. We can't all have competent lawyers.
Oh,
Excuse me?
shot fired.
Okay.
Mr. Cookie, do you own a Twitter account?
I do.
All right, what is that Twitter account's handle?
It is my name, Cookie.
Cookie. All right. Have you ever made any tweets targeting the bakery?
I've made tweets about the bakery.
Okay. And what were
I
these
would not
tweets
use
about the
that
bakery?
verbiage.
Well, it's the verbiage I decided to use, and I'm asking the questions, Mr. Cookie. Now, what tweets did you make about the bakery?
I tweeted one time about, believe you read it out already, or someone read the evidence out. It was something
I
about
don't
human
believe.
trafficking.
Okay, there we go. Have you been human trafficked, Mr. Cookie?
By I believe so.
How were you human trafficked?
I was made to work a pot farm once.
Okay. Were you human trafficked by the bakery?
No, that was clearly facetious.
What makes it clearly facetious?
The tone of the tweet. It was clearly meant to be a joke.
Did,
Made by
do
someone
tweets have-
who previously been human trafficked.
do tweets normally have tone? When you open
I
a tweet,
believe
does
the
it?
tone can be inferred.
Have you ever inferred something incorrectly, Mr. Cookie?
Absolutely.
So if you open a tweet, does it just read out to you what the tone is?
Depends on context.
And what kind of context would help you in this case, Mr. Cookie?
Absurdity.
Absurdity. Okay, what makes this? What would make a tweet absurd?
Oh, I mean any number of things. I mean, this tweet in particular. How absurd would it be if a bakery human traffics someone? Seems pretty absurd to me.
Would it still be absurd if that person has been human trafficked, or believes they've been human trafficked? They all have stated that this was satire. But when you face $1.4 million in damages, who wouldn't say it's satire? Who wouldn't try to claim that this was a joke in order to get out of this? It may have been a joke to them, but it wasn't a joke to the rest of the world. This was serious.
Absolutely not.
There's allegations of human trafficking, illegal rooster fighting or cockfighting, however they wanted to put it, and just human indecency of putting toenail clippings on Cupcake.
You watched Legally Blonde one time.
Now, I, for one, am 100% for the freedom of speech, and anyone can say whatever they want. The government should not infringe upon these rights, especially on the 4th of July.
I know. This state.
However, when your statements go beyond just small jokes and are actual accusations of crime or health code violation or other things that then push the public to come into your business and require proof that you are not committing these actions, that goes far beyond the scope of satire. Now, we did argue for about 3 hours about what a spreadsheet said. And to be honest, the spreadsheet could say whatever the spreadsheet says. We had no honest opinion to argue. It doesn't matter what one person says about the spreadsheet because that doesn't change the numbers on it. The testimony that does matter is that the reputation was harmed based on both Price's and Mr. Syverson's
I'm not
testimony,
They've been here for 3 hours.
and then that all of the defendants testified that they made these tweets. We can conveniently recall that they did it based on the word of satire, but have no other recollection to any other events regarding them. How is that reliable? Mr. Sullivan wanted to continue to call into question Mr. Syverson's testimony after he ran through about 4 loop-de-loops in a row of the same question, brought us up to the bench, and asked more clarifying questions. All we've done today is confuse a witness, misrepresent testimony, and slander a good, honest working business. Now, I understand that my complaint that I filed on behalf of the bakery asked for $1.4 million in damage. I'm going to honestly state that I'm a dramatic hoe. And there's no way in the world that they deserve that amount of damage.
That's actually not that much.
And Mr. Price, being someone who has wanted to pursue the bakery more for giving back to the people and his employees, we are no longer seeking this amount of damages. We're seeking $1 in compensatory damages as a nominal amount. And we're
Are you
also seeking,
fucking kidding me?
Your Honor, they're all speaking over me in the back.
They're literally winning.
Silence, please.
Can you repeat that? Can you tell us what business we own?
And we're also
we have
asking
more?
that the 3 defendants be compelled to submit to a newspaper article recanting specifically their tweets, that they were not actual allegations. As well as the defendants may be laughing right now, but this is still a serious matter that has tarnished the reputation of the bakery based on all of their friends and fellow gang members and other citizens all now stating, Your Honor, please. Now I understand why violence is so high in the city. Everybody has no respect for anything.
Please have respect whilst closing statements happen.
We do not offer this out of any bad faith, but rather we are not worried so much about the money as we are about the fact that slander is real and your actions and words have consequences. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the court, we've heard allegations against my clients, Alexander Bustamante, Barbie Cookie, and Dylan Cookie, claiming that their tweets caused significant financial damage to the bakery. However, the evidence presented in this very trial tells a very different story. Firstly, the plaintiffs have failed to provide concrete proof of damages caused by the tweets. The sales records show a significant decrease in sales, totaling $400,700 in April. Let me rephrase, from April to May, before the tweets were posted. Following that, from May to June, there was only a minimal decrease of $46,100. In fact, transaction records provided by the plaintiff indicate an increase in transactions by 111 in June compared to the previous month, marking a 41.4953% increase in transactions. This clearly demonstrates that the tweets did not cause a substantial decline in business. Secondly, the plaintiff has not established a basis for their claims of antitrust violations, civil fraud, harassment, or slander. There is no evidence of a coordinated effort among the defendants to harm the bakery. Each tweet was an individual expression made in satirical and humorous context, not a deliberate attempt to deceive or harm. Furthermore, according to the testimony of Mr. Syverson and other witnesses, the bakery implemented a new hourly pay structure in addition to their existing 50% commission just 3 weeks ago. This change, which increased expenses, coincides with the alleged downturn in profits. The tweets occurred approximately 2 weeks ago, making it clear that the increase in expenses, not the tweets, caused financial impact. The tweets themselves were clearly satire, intended as jokes, as you heard in the testimony of the defendants today. This intent is evident from the content and context of the tweets. The only testimony regarding the interpretation of the tweets came from the business owner and the employee themselves, who are naturally more sensitive to these statements than the general public. The plaintiff has provided no evidence that the general public perceived these tweets as anything other than satire. Additionally, it is both criminal and un-American to have a bakery in the state of San Andreas that does not serve cookies. Maybe that explains why the bakery has been declining for months, per their own records. It is a fundamental expectation that a bakery would offer such staples as cookies, and their failure to do so may well be a significant factor in their financial troubles. The plaintiff in their closing stated, "Who wouldn't claim $1.4 million? Or who wouldn't get scared of that?" And I argue, who wouldn't try and sue for $1.4 million and grasp when your business is failing right in front of you, and it has been for months? The plaintiff also stated in their closing statement that there was testimony saying the Bustamantes own a business. But in fact, that is not correct. There was no testimony about a second-owned business. And in regards to the spreadsheet that doesn't matter, with all due respect, evidence submitted by the plaintiff does matter. It just only matters according to them when it works in their favor, not against them. In conclusion, the plaintiff has not met the burden of proof required to establish their claims. The tweets were satirical in nature and did not cause the alleged financial harm. The evidence points to increased expenses from a new pay structure as the true cause of downturn in profits. Therefore, we respectfully request that the court dismiss the claims against my clients. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your time today.
Okay, so for the last one, the court found the defendant's tweets were found to be crude and libelous, and they meet the requirements for libel.
we lost.
As it was published to a third party on Twitter, and it causes harm to the plaintiff's reputation. This was a tweet where Mr. Bustamante had written, "The bakery uses toenail clippings in their donuts." This was presented as material fact rather than exaggerations or opinion, and therefore the court believes that Mr. Bustamante is liable to pay $50,000 in damages.
How much?
$50,000.
So just me.
Just Mr. Bustamante.
Light work, no reaction.
That is it. With that, court is adjourned. If you have any questions after the fact, you may come to me.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
Your Honor.
service.
Try more, pussies.
I love you, Jaime. As a
All right,
Jennifer.
Mr. Lawyer Man. I couldn't have said it better myself. Actions and words have consequences, buddy.
Woo!
Actions and words have consequences.
Damn.
Okay.
Whoa,
Gangster. Real gangster. Real fucking gangster. Real spiel.
You guys are real cool. Do that when there's no cop.
Now they're gonna leave. Oh, yeah.